One of the reasons why people don't get what they want is actually because they lack clarity of the goal. Let's imagine that you would jump into your car to go on a really long road trip to a place you've never been. Would you or would you not have a GPS to get there? At least I know my sense of direction is not so good, so I would definitely put a GPS in order for me to know where I'm going. So your goal is your GPS. And so today I want to talk about clarity and how to set up goals in order for you to get that GPS and the coordination to actually get to where you want to be. You might have heard of the SMART formula, which I will get to in a second, but I think it's very valid and important to lay out the playground of where you are today. If your goal is weight loss, fat loss, body composition, better health, let's lay the foundation of where you are today. What are your health markers? What is your body weight, your dress size? How much body fat do you carry? And then from there, we can put a specific goal in place that you know will work as your GPS. And then the SMART process will help you create that specific goal. So when we introduce the SMART formula, we start with the S. S stands for specificity, which means that these are your coordinations in your GPS. So the more specific the coordinations, the more specific you know where you're going to. And you will also know whether you need to turn left or right, or going through town or going via the woods to get there. And so if your goal is to lose weight or body composition changes, we want to look at how much weight do you want to lose? What body fat percentage are you now and want to be in the future? How many dress sizes do you want to lose? If your health markers are off, where are they now? What are the gold standards? And then we know where we want to get to. So the more specific targets that we can give ourselves, the easier it's going to be to tick off that list, knowing that we're arriving at that destination. Then when we bring it into the M, which stands for measurables, having those specific targets also tells us what we can measure along the way. If it is body fat, percentage we're going to be looking at drop. If it is body weight, we want to see the weight going down. If it is dress sizes, well, we want to see that you can fit into smaller clothes. And of course, if there are health markers, we want to see those improve. So the measurables will come from the specificity. A stands for attainable, which basically means, can this be achieved? And if the answer is yes, if you know of someone who has done this before you, if you know anyone who's ever lost weight in the past, then you know that losing weight is possible. We just need to have the right formulas, following the right diet and implementing training and seeing that over time we're actually going to get to the result. But if you know that it's an attainable goal, then that's awesome. If your goal is to become a unicorn, do you know anyone who's ever become a unicorn before? If the answer is yes, sure, it's attainable, but the answer is likely no. And so this is how we need to assess whether or not your goal is attainable. R stands for realistic or risky. And really what this is that you need to have a goal that is far enough away for you to feel like it demands something of you. It needs to be something that actually scares you a little bit, because if the goal is a little bit too close to you, you will more likely to be a little bit complacent. You might just say, I can skip this one day, I'll start again on Monday. And as you can see, it doesn't require you to step into creating those changes. So the goal itself needs to be something that actually demands a little bit of your conscious attention, so that you actually go and do the things that you need to do in order to get there. And then T stands for time frame. And really what this is, we want to set a deadline, because as I just said with the realistic or risky, if we don't have a deadline, we can push that goal as far as we want to, which means that we might just die before we actually get there. And then do we feel like we're going to have a fulfilled life if we always keep postponing what we really want? No, we won't. So setting deadlines are really important. And they don't have to necessarily be for the end goal, but it could be for checkpoints, for a mid-set point, or a macro cycle, a mesocycle, and a microcycle. Seeing that at some point we're going to look at the progress and deciding that if what we're doing is sufficient, or if we're slacking a little bit, or if we need to change the plan of action because what we're doing is not really working or it's not giving you the result that you want. But having a timeline or a time stamp for when you want to achieve something, it's super important, because it's also going to keep momentum. You're going to keep you from from slowing down, it's going to keep you accountable to your goal. So when we use the SMART formula, it's really about creating clarity, because when we have a clear goal, when we can visualize what we really want, we are more likely to actually taking action towards that. We will have the resources and the knowledge inside to know whether this choice is going to be better than that choice. So clarity is a huge component to whether or not you're going to be successful. And so I want to just invite you to, when you're looking at your goal, ask yourself, is this goal of mine clear enough? Does it give me the specificity, the measurables? Is it attainable? Slightly risky? Like, does it mean a lot to me? And then have I put a timestamp on it? And if you can answer yes to all of these things, you're fine. But if not, go back and revise it and see where you can actually add in some more clarity. So hey guys, thanks for listening so far. If you have someone who's just about to embark on their journey, send this to them and wish them good luck. And I'll speak to you soon.